Imagine, imagine traveling to another countries without having to move an inch from your couch. Imagine traveling through times to listen to Martin Luther King Jr. deliver his I Have a Dream speech for the first time. Imagine having a famous painter such as Bob Ross teaching you how to paint a beautiful scenery anytime at your house for free. Now, all the things that I said sounded like came straight from a science fiction book. But let me tell you, it's all possible with social media. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kenan Daniel Arifin, and today I want to talk about youth's digital responsibility. Now, first thing first, believe it or not, social media has brought a huge impact into our society. It has allowed us to access information not only faster, but also easier. But the key thing about information, ladies and gentlemen, it shapes how we think, what we value, and how we behave. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in computer science, there is a principle known as garbage in, garbage out. It means no matter how sophisticated a system is, a poor quality input will inevitably produce a poor quality output. With that being said, our society follows a quite similar principle, where the quality of information we consume largely determines the quality of the decisions we are going to make. In this case, social media has become an environment that provides us with lots of information that can persuade our decision. Starting from a basic decision like what clothes would I like to buy, to a more complex one like who am I going to choose to be the leader of my country. Ladies and gentlemen, now I want you to imagine a situation where someone named Budi watches a 30-second video clip. Let me repeat myself. A 30-second video clip of a presidential debate where the original duration of that debate lasted for 150 minutes. So within a half minute, within those 30 seconds, a complex issue involving laws, economics, and public policy is reduced to a few emotionally charged sentences. Budi may walk away believing he fully understands the whole issue, despite having seen only a fraction of it. He may even argue it online, influence his friends, and eventually cast a vote based on an incomplete information. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really concerning, isn't it? As youth and a social media user, this kind of situation is really bothering me. Because what if, ladies and gentlemen, what if there are millions of Budis out there forming a belief based on an incomplete information and eventually making a critical decision because of it? It is just outrageous, isn't it? However, we, young people, are in a quite unique position. My fellow youth, we are still in the process of building our values, worldviews, and beliefs. My fellow youth, the information we consume today will shape the people we become tomorrow. With that being said, as youth, I believe the solution to this problem lies within ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, if information shapes our belief, then we must take responsibility for the information we consume. And we can begin building that responsibility by laying our first brick of solution, and that is conscious curation. My fellow youth, let me tell you, the greatest power social media has given us is not the power for us to command, to post, or to share. It is the power for us to choose. Because every single day we decide what information that comes into our mind, what voices we trust, what ideas we entertain. And that is when conscious curation comes into play. By us consciously choosing what information that comes into our mind and shapes our belief. Because my fellow youth, we should recognize that every viral clip, every trending post, every viral 30-second video clip may be only a fraction of a much larger puzzle. Because my fellow youth, we are living in an era overflowing with information. The challenge now is no longer finding puzzle pieces. The challenge now is to make sure that we have enough of them to see the whole picture. Because my fellow youth, in this digital era, seeing the whole picture is not an option. It is a responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow youth, my name is Kenan Danny Arifin, and that is my speech about digital responsibility. Thank you.